Hey everybody, Chris from BattleGoat Studios.
And George from BattleGoat.
Today we want to talk to you guys about some of the features you can expect to see in Supreme Ruler 2030. We know a lot of our Supreme Ruler Ultimate fans really liked what they saw, and we want to start giving you an idea of what you're going to see in the next one.
And so we're really excited about the development of Supreme Ruler 2030 and what it brings to the franchise of the Supreme Ruler games. And we wanted to talk a little bit today about what makes Supreme Ruler a better game and what you should and shouldn't expect.
And thinking about how the industry of the games work, we're very aware that when you use a name to set a franchise, it creates some expectations. And the development process we've used for Supreme Ruler, it still has the name Supreme Ruler. We want the players to understand the type of things they're going to see. That we've spent a lot of our time looking for the suggestions that have come out from the community that fit within core mechanics that we've always used without really disrupting the balance of the gameplay that people enjoy. And always looking for enhancements, ways that we can make the experience people have had deeper, richer, better.
And one of the things about Supreme Ruler 2030 is a lot of the changes, a lot of developments are under the hood, and this makes the game a better game, and it's the evolution of the Supreme Ruler series, but it's a lot of work to do these things. The game is now a brand new game engine with a 64-bit Windows 64 engine behind it. That, first of all, gives us more capability as to what we're going to do. For example, the region limit that we spoke about in the previous video, expanding the number of regions and the number of different data points that we can support. That's because of it being 64-bit. We've also expanded it to a DX11 graphics engine. And while our games are never known for their graphics strength, it does give us more flexibility in some of the things, even the amount of graphics we show on the screen, but also it gives us a pathway forward to try to continue to develop new and more interesting visuals on the game.
And an example that we can give today of the evolution of the game system goes to a feature that already existed in Supreme Ruler Ultimate, that we had an espionage system. And some of the growth and change that we've seen here is that there is now a new mission that you can use your spies for, a counter-espionage, where you can specifically take the spies that you have available. Previously, you could send them out on reconnaissance, espionage, to steal designs or sabotage to damage other people's resources. And George and I loved to sabotage each other's facilities. And so that sort of led to looking for a counter-espionage, that now if I see that a bunch of my power plants are being damaged, I can try and use some of my spies within my own nation to try and get ahead of somebody else's actions and catch them in the act. And another thing that goes to getting that richer experience is that the user interface and the feedback given about what the spies are doing has been improved. So they tell you when they're traveling between a location. You see better feedback when you're placing them on the map to know what they're beginning to do. So this is that evolution to be able to give some consistent gameplay and just make it easier to get into and know what's going on.
And these sorts of evolutionary changes, this is one example with the espionage, but you're going to see those same examples with diplomacy, with battle groups, with the combat system, with the tech tree, and so on. So there's going to be a lot of evolution both in the internals of how the game works, in the AI of how it reacts to these new changes, and in the user interface that works with it. A lot of suggestions, a lot of feedback is being incorporated here, and we're really excited to be able to bring this to the next generation of Supreme Ruler.
And if you're looking for clues on what we might be working on next, we'd always encourage checking the forums. Recently on the Steam forum, we were asking the community about what they see as the most important military equipment changes of the past 10 years and coming 10 years, because building the data to get updated inventories of equipment, kinds of equipment, relationships between countries, this is one of the big, often unseen elements of creating a game set in a specific era, is you're trying to replicate that snapshot, that point in time. And so this is some of the data that we're gathering. So as you watch the discussions on the forums, you can sort of get a clue on what are some of the things that we're aiming to improve next.
So stay with us in future videos as we're going to talk about some of the new content, designing the world of 2030 and trying to predict how crazy it's going to be, simulating the modern world, and other things that we're adding to the game as well. So take a look for our upcoming videos on that. If you haven't added Supreme Ruler 2030 to your Steam wishlist, please do so. It helps us a lot. Tell your friends about the game. Let's get the word out there, and let's make this the best possible game we can.
Great. Thanks for watching.